jumping back on with Coach Mike. And Coach Mike, we're talking a little bit about just our players, right? And where their current mindset is. And so you had brought up a point about kind of where they're at with whether it's recruiting or what to be doing right now. So what do you see is on their mind right now, and what can I help them, or we help them with?
Yeah, I think what's happening right now in the landscape of our country is there's a lot of uncertainty, locally, nationally, but just particularly for our players. What's going to happen with recruiting for 16 and under sophomore, class of 2022, 2021, looking at those two classes, and even 2023. How is all this uncertainty going to play into the recruiting world? And I think they have an anxiety about it or questions about it. And I think, it's a good idea for us to start trying to address that.
Well, as again, leaders in this sport, it's important to understand why are they thinking that way, right? So again, their emotions, right? So, worrying about the results, being concerned if are we doing the right thing? That's a very natural thing. It's a very when I say healthy, it's part of the process of how we experience life, right? I think in my opinion, what I see people miss is the next step. And that is, why am I thinking this? And then if they don't have the information to help them through something, then that's where it gets started. We start running into problems. But we do have this information right now. So if we understand the questions, it's because, well, we're not sure. And we'd like some reassurance or, some type of idea of how this is all going to play out. But we don't know. I'd like to know how many years I'm going to live. But I don't want to know the day I'm going to die. I'd like to know, do I got another solid 30 in me, or am I looking at 8 to 10? I mean, what's going on? So there's that. We want to know. But do I live my life every day worrying about dying? And I think we have to look at that scale in softball, because as I know, especially I've traced this back to the love of our kids. So the reason parents get so concerned is because how much we love our kids, and we're not sure if we're in the right hands. So the best advice I can give to all of our players right now, right, to keep it short and quick to our players, is why do you watch a video? Why do you like an Instagram? Why do you like anything? Why do you spend time watching something for 30 seconds? It's because you like it. It's because it appeals to you. Someone might tell you that you need to watch this movie, but then you might not like it 5 minutes into it. So what is it that appeals to you? Everybody is likable. Everybody has something, a corny term. No, it's true. The most beautiful thing is happiness. So the number one step for all of our players right now is find the goodness in your life. Compare what might be a natural concern or worry of what you don't have, right? You don't have your senior year, or, starting with our seniors, or you don't have this, you don't have that, or what's going to happen when I go to college as a freshman and now I've got to compete against seniors. And all this is true. All this reality is true. But the great news, Mike, is that we all come from generations of success through adversity. We're here because our ancestors and our grandparents and great-grandparents and great-great-great-great-great-great-grandparents all overcame, the adversity that they had in front of them. So we talk 100%. About World War II, we talk about all different types of things. And so have the reassurance that we're going to be okay. But who are you? What is likable about you? I'm going to release, I believe it's tomorrow, we're going to release a video with Lauren Chamberlain and, a lot of social media success. Lauren says in this video, I'm being me. I'm not trying to be something else. So it starts with our self-image. And then from there, college coaches right now are sitting at home and they're able to watch a lot of videos, right? So think about how many people are doing the same thing. All right. So as soon as you start going in the backyard or whatever it is, or putting clips together, and start thinking about, am I doing what everybody else is doing? Part of you might think you need to do that because that's what everyone else is doing. But if you're going to look through 1,500 emails a week and you're going to watch 900 videos a week, what's going to stand out to you? The 862 that are the same, or the 38 that aren't, right? And so what is intriguing about you? Here's something else. Play around with this, players. I would ask them to take their own videos, because I can always tell when a coach or a parent is shooting a video for a player. And first thing I ask that player is, would you put that video on your Instagram? And they start laughing. They're like, heck no, I wouldn't put that Instagram. You have me standing like, my name is, I am my 2000, my GPA is, and what our kids have really mastered, Mike, is like, is this. They take this and they know how to talk to it. So I would say if they even wanted to play around to us, send us something for 10 to 15 seconds, 15 to 30 seconds. Make me want more. If you're happy, I'm attracted to you, meaning I want to watch you. I want to
Right.
see more of this. I'm attracted to this video. I'm intrigued by it, right? Be you, be authentic, and be your best you. So if you're a power hitter, don't take videos of you running and doing agility drills and put it on your video first, right?
Yeah.
If you've got presence, and that's the best thing we can work on right now, is your own self-confidence. How do you walk into a room, right? Believe it or not, when a pitcher goes to the back of the circle and walks to the rubber before she throws a pitch, that tells me what kind of ownership she has of herself right now. I might not even be looking for that, Mike, but I'm going to notice that. So wow, corny terms, behavior, mindset. We have hours of videos on it, right? We have years of success, and cash in on the opportunity to create results for yourself, so that all of a sudden, so many of our students are proud that they're in the 5 and 10 percentile of their grades. I know that in the sports world, it doesn't rank to academics, but it does to me in your character. It does to me in your behavior, because that, like your grades, goes on with you for the rest of your life. So I would encourage our players to look at their self-image, build that self-image, be organic in what they are, play around with their own videos. So because if you don't want to watch it, or your friends don't want to watch it, chances are I don't want to watch it. Right. And then just play around with it. And there's no have-tos. And then the last thing is, I reassure everyone that this is a very high return business. So it's kind of like getting an F in a class. If somebody's getting an F in a class, it's not because they're trying as hard as they can and they're going to the teacher to check on work. There's something in the story there, that there's a reason why that F, and it's a very low percentage, and there's always a story attached. So the worry and concern that we all have of who's going to like me, are they going to like me, where am I going to go, that's a natural part of the process. Be reassured through that process. So it's kind of like losing a game 5-2. But you're convinced that you know what you need to know to come out ahead of the game. And then whether you do or not, when you're shaking hands at the end of the game, your competition knows that, you know what, you believe you could win that whole game. That's right. We play softball. We don't want to be worried about holding on and then we don't win and then we don't qualify. That's right. The process. So that's what I wanted to give you a little bit on that.
Yeah. And I wanted to add a couple things too. Like, I'm trying to encourage, the kids that I'm coaching is this. College coaches are recruiting kids that they want in their locker room too. So if you can put that in your video in some way, shape, or form, not by saying it, by just showing, right, by seeing it, that's what is believing. I want that. There's something about that kid I want in our locker room to add to our, core group cadre of leaders, and that will draw them in as well. So I want to encourage kids to understand it's not always the physical. It's also, like you talked about, Coach, the social, emotional, and that connection of, there's something about this kid that I want in my locker room because it's going to help my team get better.
That's the statement that's heard most often. I don't know what it is about her, but I got to have her. And how powerful if a young lady just looked at the camera and said, I want to play for you. And you look right at them and they hear that. I would tell you, out of the 1,000 emails, they're not hearing that statement. They're hearing, I'm a mer, mer, I'm a 2000 mer, mer, my GPA is mer, mer, and it's a mer, 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 boom, there it is. Yeah. All right, Coach Mike, thanks for your time again.
I'll let you go.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.